Hello everyone, my name is Chris. Thought I'd make this video kind of describing my issue with iFloaters. Been on the message boards online. Some of you may have seen my few posts. It's just under Chris M. So I thought I'd post this video just because I like to see a face myself to people suffering with this problem. I know a few of you have posted videos before, whether it be just describing what your problem is or your procedure when you went through an FOV or your laser treatment or whatever. They definitely find those videos helpful and informative, and I just thought I'd return the favor and just kind of describe what I'm going through in a little more detail. That's just easier to speak on video versus typing out a long message on a message board. So, a little about me. I'm 34 years old. I My floater problem started probably around April of this year. I've noticed floaters in the past ever since I was a kid. I think a lot of us, have looked up at the sky at one point or another and seen like little squiggly lines, and maybe some of us have chased them like with our eyes when we were kids. Like I know I did, and never thought twice about it ever in my life until this year. I was around April. I went to get an eye exam just because I needed to refill my contacts and get new glasses. And I think it was right after the uh, appointment, I noticed I had a floater in my left eye, on like the right upper hand corner, and it was a dark black spot, something I've never noticed in my life ever. And it just kind of, I noticed it when I was at work, and I was just like, maybe it'll go away, whatever. Didn't think much about it, but as each day went by, it was still there, and it was just right in my field of vision. Um, it definitely affects me the most when I read things like a book, papers at work, the background of my computer screens at work or at home, anything with a bright background, obviously. Um, but with this particular floater, it was bothering me reading and bothering me driving as it was in my upper half of my vision. So if it was a clear blue sky or an overcast sky, I would just be flipping back and forth, drifting down into my central field of vision. And it got to the point where I just locked in on it, and I started to notice the rest of my floaters. Um, I don't know if it was a simultaneous process where all these floaters kind of developed together within a certain period of time, or they were always there and I just never paid attention to them. I want to say it was a gradual process and they started to pop up one after the other for whatever reason. I just don't see how it's possible that I missed all of these floaters or didn't see them. So my left eye is definitely the bigger problem. In addition to that floater, I've developed, dark black spots, like kind of like a cobweb group that kind of swooshes up when I'm looking up and down, or if I turn my head really quickly. And my right eye has a few too, a couple of transparent, kind of like crystal worms I know people have used to describe them, something like that. Those don't bother me really that much, but there is a dark, kind of like small cobweb piece on the side, like I would say, be like right here. And when I turn my head or go like this, if I'm in a certain light, I can see it like shoot out this way. I think I can deal with that one if my left eye was perfect or close to perfect, though I don't know. But that one from time to time bothers me. But put those all together, and when I'm at work, it's a torturous process. That's my biggest problem, is going to work, working on a computer screen or screens in bright natural light slash office lighting. It's bad. It's pretty bad. some days better than others, but I'm finding it harder and harder to cope with it. I just feel like there's so many at this point, and so hard to ignore. Um, but anyways, yeah, got sidetracked there. Like after the eye appointment, when I got my glasses and everything, and refilled my contacts, that's I started noticing the floaters. So I made an appointment like a month later, just because this is a new problem to me. Went back and just told him like, yeah, I have this floater that's very prominent, like in my field of vision, like dark black spot. I don't know if anything's wrong. So like most of you, like they went through the eye exam again, and you know, got the same answer from the eye doctor as everyone else has. This is normal, happens due to age. Nothing you can do about it. You have to ignore them. But it wasn't just that. I think the eye doctor he said a line that really stuck with me, and it really like sent me down on a spiral. Is when he mentioned, like when I was talking about the floor that was set everything off. He was just like, "Well, it looks like you have a friend for life." And that line kind of echoed in my head for a while, and it just stuck with me. Like I just didn't want to deal with this the rest of my life, and really really bothered me. So um, I got pretty depressed. I would have like maybe every other day I'd have these severe bouts of sadness and depression, while at work. I had to stop. I got really, really upset. I never felt this way about anything before. It was really crippling. Um, I just didn't really know what to do. So obviously, I live in Massachusetts, so it's just there's no medical options or anything. So I went online, started researching. I started with like, is there any herbal supplements I could take? Anything, dietary changes, anything, holistic methods. I tried, taking like hemp oil because it's supposed to work, and bilberry and vitamins, and obviously it didn't work. That's, just false. Anyone who says that those things work are obviously incorrect. Um, so I continued to be um, just feeling bad and down about it. So I went and decided to schedule an appointment with a therapist. I'm thinking, well, I've obviously developed depression and anxiety associated with the floaters. And if I don't have a medical solution here in New England, what else can I do but to tackle my anxiety? Maybe if I tackle the way I think about them and react about them, I can neutralize that and then just move on with my life. So started going to like therapy in like June. It's now November November 1st. So, and I don't know. I mean, it's made me feel better. I ended up getting prescribed anti-anxiety medication. I've never been on anti-anxiety medication or any uh, psychoactive medications, so there was a little adjustment period. It did kind of dull the edge of like the depression and I guess panic attacks, or just general like those bouts of sadness where it would just cripple me at work or whatever. So it did help in that respect, but I'm still locked in on the floaters. I think about them constantly. Um, just It's really just a band-aid in my opinion. I'm kind of skeptical, how long I should go through therapy. I mean, like, what am I really going to accomplish? Am I really going to be able to change my way of thinking? My fiance is urging me to stick with it because it's a long process. Like, I'm a fixer, a type A personality. So when I have a problem, I try to address it immediately and correct it rather than procrastinate or, not do anything. So, it helps, but I'm getting closer and closer to taking, more extreme measures or, more permanent measure at this point. I don't like being on the medication. Side effects can be kind of shitty sometimes. Um, Plus, it's not addressing the problem, I don't think. I mean, I think it's just masking my feelings. I'm still hyper aware of floaters, and I feel like I need to take care of them somehow. Um, it's just it sucks. It sucks. Um, like I said, especially at work, just cobwebs, black spots. Even now, if I'm watching TV. Granted, in my apartment, like the lights, I'm not in darkness. Like, and I've heard a lot of you talk, on the message board or on other videos where you live in darkness. Like the blinds are drawn, it's really dark in your house or apartment. I'm not quite at that point, and I don't think I have as severe floaters as some people. Though I guess it's really your perception. Um, there's decent amount of light in my apartment, and I don't think I'm like quite a shut in. Um, but I definitely do, think about it when I'm home or anywhere. When I go outside, I do get slightly anxious, which is crazy because I've never been that way. I like being outside. I like doing things outside. Um, it affects everything. Like I go over a friend's house and I gotta see, like I almost scope out like if I'm gonna be sitting down, where I'm sitting. If it's too close to a window, is it too bright? Um, it's crazy. Like just acting that way. Like I've never had my behavior affected by anything as much as this has. Even when I'm watching TV here, like the prominent like the floater that started everything, my left eye is sometimes will drift down and like I can see it. Like if it's like a really bright, scene on a movie or depending how whatever's on TV, I can see it flipping around, and then most of the time it gets washed out based on just watching TV and there's lots of colors and darkness, whatever. So that sucks too, and like that's almost like if I can't relax, I can't watch TV, I can't you know watch a movie without worrying about it, and like when am I going to have any sort of peace from this? Because I've kind of accepted like I'm just gonna have to deal with it at work for the time being, but I mean when I'm home I feel like I should be able to at least check out and ignore it, but sometimes I can't, so it sucks. um so I mean that's kind of like the gist of my story. And um I just recently watched uh the latest webinar video by Dr. Randall Wong, who's out of Fairfax, Virginia. Most of you know, or if some of you don't, he's really the only doctor on the Eastern Seaboard who's close enough to me that specializes in this problem and seems to be an expert on it and will do a floaters only vitrectomy. And he seems to have good results doing so, and his patients seem to have good results. Obviously, there's one or two bad stories that I've seen, but I think that goes for anything. There's going to be a bad story no matter what you're doing. Though it doesn't mean I'm going to run down to Virginia right away and get that procedure done. But after watching that webinar, which I've never watched any of his stuff before, really think I'm getting closer and closer to setting up an appointment at some point, a consultation, taking a drive down there and just doing it, because it's a bummer being held hostage by this, which is how I feel right now, to some extent. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm definitely gonna continue to research and cope as best I can. I'll give therapy a chance, but at this point, I think I'm inching closer to making a trip to Dr. Wong and just getting this done and taking back my life. But we'll see. I hope this video like kind of helps anyone, like just letting you know that you're not the only one dealing with this. I understand your the issue with eye floaters. I totally do. I sympathize with you. If you've got the surgery, the FOV, and corrected it, I am super happy for you. I'd love to hear from you and let me know. how it went, how anything I should know about. I would love to hear from you, anyone, or I'd love to hear from anyone who hasn't got the procedure and just wants to vent about it. I get it. So I'll definitely be monitoring I'm going to post this link on the degenerate, I can't even say it, the Vitreous community message board, and get some feedback. So thanks for taking the time watching this video if you did, and I appreciate it, and good luck.